sudden hospital rush, a silent night filled with fear, and one man who refused to leave his side. Wong Ebos' unexpected emergency shook the entire fandom, but nothing prepared fans for what Xiao Zhan did during those critical hours. It was supposed to be a quiet return, nothing more than a routine flight home after weeks spent overseas. But what happened the moment Wong Yibo stepped off that plane turned into the most heartbreaking shock his fans have faced in years. Witnesses described him looking unusually pale, almost drained of life. His steps were heavy, his breathing unsteady, and for a brief second, he nearly collapsed. Staff members rushed toward him, catching him before he hit the ground. In that exact moment, panic rippled through the airport like a wave. The atmosphere shifted instantly, from casual excitement to pure fear. Within minutes, Yibo was rushed to a nearby hospital. No cameras were allowed, no official statements, just a tight wall of silence that only fueled the growing anxiety resonating across social media. But what fans didn't know was that someone else had already heard the news. Someone who reacted faster than anyone could have imagined. Xiao Zhan. He arrived at the hospital in a hurry, breathless, eyes filled with worry that was impossible to hide. He didn't come as a superstar. He didn't come as a public figure. He came as someone who cared deeply, someone terrified of losing someone precious. Doctors worked quietly behind closed doors while Xiao Zhan waited outside, pacing, trembling, gripping his hands so tightly his knuckles turned white. The moment a doctor stepped out, he rushed forward. "Is he okay? Please tell me he's going to be fine." The answer was hopeful but unsettling. Exhaustion, dehydration, and physical strain. He needed rest. Long, undisturbed rest. And from that second on, Xiao Zhan made a decision without saying a single word. He wasn't going anywhere. As the hospital hallways grew quieter, Xiao Zhan remained in the same room where Wong Yibo lay unconscious. The world outside kept guessing, panicking, praying, but inside that room, the truth was raw, fragile, and painfully human. He pulled a chair to Yibo's bedside and sat there. Not as a colleague, not as a celebrity, but as someone who refused to let go. Nurses recalled the same scene night after night. Xiao Zhan resting his head beside Yibo's arm, his fingers intertwined with Yibo's cold hand. Sometimes he whispered things no one else could hear. Other times, he simply watched the steady rise and fall of Yibo's chest, afraid that even a second of inattention might cost him something he couldn't bear. When the monitors beeped, he woke instantly. When Yibo shifted in his sleep, Xiao Zhan leaned closer, brushing his thumb over the back of his hand as if grounding him back to life. There were no cameras capturing this, no fans witnessing it, only the truth of two souls quietly holding onto each other through the darkness. "Yibo, I'm here," he whispered one night. "You're not alone. Please wake up. I need to see you open your eyes." Outside, fans flooded social media with prayers and hashtags. Hashtag stay strong Yibo. Hashtag we love you Yibo. Hashtag get well soon Wang Yibo. But inside that room, love was expressed not through words or posts, but through presence, through patience, through fear disguised as strength. And then, after days of silence, something finally changed. The soft morning light filtered through the blinds. The air was still, and for the first time in days, Wong Yibo's fingers twitched, not from discomfort, but from consciousness returning. Xiao Zhan felt it immediately. He sat up, eyes widening, and then, slowly, painfully, Yibo opened his eyes. The world looked blurry at first, but the moment his vision adjusted, the first thing he saw was Xiao Zhan, sitting right there, still holding his hand, eyes filled with unshed tears. "Zhanji," Yibo's voice was barely more than a whisper, but it was enough to break the dam holding Xiao Zhan together. He exhaled sharply, lowering his head as if trying to hide the emotions rushing through him. "You almost drove me insane," he murmured, voice trembling. Their hands tightened, not in fear this time, but in relief, in confirmation that this wasn't a dream fueled by dread. Doctors later arrived with news that finally gave the fandom hope. Yibo's condition was stabilizing. His body was responding well. He needed more rest, proper meals, and time away from the intensity of his schedule. And for the first time in days, Xiao Zhan smiled. A genuine smile. The kind only someone who had been holding on to hope for too long could give. "I was so scared," he whispered. Yibo gave a weak laugh. "I know. I'm sorry." Their silence afterward wasn't empty. It was warm, full of unspoken emotions and gratitude. Outside the hospital, fans continued to pray. Inside, two people held onto each other with renewed strength. The next few days became a healing chapter, soft, tender, filled with unexpected moments that touched everyone who heard about them. Xiao Zhan insisted on staying. No amount of persuasion from staff could make him leave Yibo's side. So he stayed through meals, through checkups, through long, quiet pauses. He fed Yibo warm porridge, laughing when Yibo complained that it tasted bland. Nurses caught them chuckling together like old friends rediscovering joy. Every night, Yibo would wake to find Xiao Zhan reading a script while still gently holding his hand. And whenever Yibo shivered, Xiao Zhan adjusted his blanket without being asked. Inside that hospital room, fame didn't matter. Schedules didn't matter. Only healing did. Gradually, Yibo's color returned. His voice grew stronger. His laughter came back, soft at first, then brighter, then unmistakably him. And then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. The doctor finally allowed Yibo to stand and take a few careful steps, only if someone supported him. Of course, it was Xiao Zhan. Yibo rose slowly, steadying himself as Xiao Zhan held his arm. When he managed 2 steps without dizziness, he smiled. A small smile, but a powerful one. Xiao Zhan's eyes glistened with emotion. "You're back," he whispered. Yibo nodded. "I'm back." Now, with his strength returning and his spirit rekindling, Wong Ebos is on a warm and hopeful path to full recovery. He has begun joking again, thinking about small activities, and slowly reconnecting with the world around him. But through this entire journey, one truth remained unshakable. He was never alone. Xiao Zhan stayed, not out of fear anymore, but out of commitment, out of care, out of something deeper that didn't need to be spoken aloud to be understood. Fans around the world continue to send love, prayers, and messages of support, waiting for the day Yibo returns to the stage with his full energy and radiant smile. This experience didn't just make him stronger. It strengthened something between them, something precious, something irreplaceable. And after all the fear, the tears, and the endless nights, one thing is finally clear. Wang Yibo is healing. Xiao Zhan is relieved. And the entire world can finally breathe again.